Halloween. The word alone conjures images of flickering jack-o'-lanterns, children in costumes, and tales of ghosts and goblins. It's a night when the veil between the worlds feels thin, and the supernatural seems to brush against our own. But where did this beloved holiday come from? What are the origins of its unique blend of spooky fun and ancient traditions? Halloween, with its intriguing mix of ancient rituals and modern revelry, has a rich and complex history. The Celts, an ancient people who inhabited regions of Europe, celebrated their new year on November 1st. This day was significant as it marked a major transition in their calendar and way of life. This marked the end of summer and the harvest season and the beginning of a dark, cold winter, a time often associated with death. The Celts prepared for the harsh months ahead, storing food and supplies. The Celts believed that on the night before their new year, October 31st, the boundary between the worlds of the living and the dead became blurred. This mystical night was filled with both fear and reverence. This night, known as Samhain, pronounced Samhain, was believed to be a time when the spirits of the dead could more easily return to Earth. The Celts thought that these spirits could cause trouble or damage crops. The Celts celebrated Samhain with bonfires, which were considered sacred and protective. These fires were believed to ward off evil spirits and provide warmth and light during the long night. They also wore costumes, often made from animal heads and skins, to disguise themselves from the spirits. Feasts were held to honor the dead and ensure a good harvest in the coming year. They believed that the fires attracted insects, which in turn attracted bats, which were associated with witches. This connection between bats and witches has persisted through the centuries. These elements would later become iconic symbols of Halloween. The traditions of Samhain evolved over time, blending with other cultural practices to create the modern holiday we know today. As the Roman Empire expanded, it encompassed Celtic territories, including the regions where Samhain was celebrated. The Romans had their own festivals and traditions, and over time these began to blend with the Celtic customs. Two Roman festivals in particular influenced the development of Halloween. The first was Feralia, a day in late October when the Romans commemorated the passing of the dead. The second was a day to honor Pomona, the Roman goddess of fruit and trees. The symbol of Pomona was the apple, which may have influenced the tradition of bobbing for apples on Halloween. By the 9th century, Christianity had spread throughout much of Europe, including Celtic lands. In an effort to assimilate pagan traditions into Christian practices, the Church designated November 1st as All Saints' Day, also known as All Hallows' Day. This day was intended to honor all Christian saints, known and unknown. The evening before All Saints' Day, October 31st, became known as All Hallows' Eve, which was later shortened to Halloween. The Church also designated November 2nd as All Souls' Day, a day to commemorate the dead. This merging of pagan and Christian traditions further shaped the celebration of Halloween. Across the vast Atlantic Ocean, Halloween embarked on its journey to America. For centuries, Halloween was a significant celebration in Europe, deeply rooted in ancient Celtic traditions and customs. It wasn't until the 19th century that Halloween made its way to America, carried across the ocean by Irish immigrants fleeing the devastating potato famine. These immigrants brought with them their rich cultural heritage and Halloween traditions. Among these traditions was the carving of turnips into lanterns, a practice that held significant meaning and was believed to ward off evil spirits. In America, this tradition evolved as pumpkins, which were more plentiful and easier to carve, replaced turnips. The iconic jack-o'-lantern was born, becoming a symbol of Halloween. As Halloween gained popularity in America, it began to lose some of its religious and superstitious overtones. It evolved into a more secular holiday focused on community and playful fun. Costumes became more elaborate and creative, reflecting a wide range of characters and themes. Trick-or-treating emerged as a popular activity, where children would dress up in costumes and go door to door, collecting candy and treats from neighbors. Halloween parties also became commonplace, bringing people together to celebrate with games, food, and festive decorations. The holiday transformed into a beloved American tradition enjoyed by people of all ages. From jack-o'-lanterns to trick-or-treat, the evolution of Halloween traditions. Halloween, as we know it today, is a fascinating blend of ancient customs and modern practices. Many of the Halloween customs we know and love today have roots in ancient traditions. These traditions have evolved over centuries, blending elements from different cultures and time periods. Take, for instance, the jack-o'-lantern. This iconic symbol of Halloween has a rich history that dates back to ancient times. The practice of carving faces into vegetables and placing candles inside dates back to the Irish myth of Stingy Jack, a blacksmith who tricked the devil and was forced to roam the earth with only a burning coal inside a carved-out turnip to light his way. Over time, this tradition crossed the Atlantic and evolved into the pumpkin carving custom we know today. Trick-or-treating, too, has its origins in ancient customs. This beloved activity has a history that is both intriguing and complex. During Samhain, the Celts would leave food and drink offerings to appease the spirits that were believed to be roaming the earth. This was a time when the boundary between the living and the dead was thought to be at its thinnest. This practice may have evolved into the tradition of children going door to door in costumes asking for treats. Over the years, this custom has become a staple of Halloween celebrations, bringing joy to countless children and families. Halloween today, a global celebration. Today, Halloween is celebrated worldwide, from North America to Europe to Asia. While its customs and traditions may vary from country to country, the underlying theme of celebrating the dead and the supernatural remains constant. In Mexico, for example, the Day of the Dead, a colorful celebration of life and death, coincides with Halloween. Halloween has become a global phenomenon, transcending cultural and religious boundaries. It's a time for people of all ages to dress up, indulge in sweet treats, and revel in the spooky spirit of the season. The enduring appeal of Halloween. What is it about Halloween that continues to captivate us year after year? Perhaps it's the thrill of the unknown, the chance to confront our fears in a safe and playful way. Maybe it's the opportunity to step outside ourselves for a night, to shed our everyday identities and embrace the transformative power of costumes. Or perhaps it's simply the joy of tradition, the comfort of gathering with friends and family to share in the customs that have been passed down for generations. Whatever the reason, Halloween continues to hold a special place in our hearts and imaginations. Conclusion: Halloween's timeless allure. From its ancient Celtic roots to its modern-day celebrations, Halloween has evolved over the centuries, blending pagan rituals with Christian traditions and incorporating new customs along the way. It's a holiday that reflects our complex relationship with the past, the present, and the unknown. As the nights grow longer and the air turns crisp, we're reminded once again of the enduring allure of Halloween, a time when the veil between the worlds feels thin and the magic of the season comes alive.